This lighting trick will improve your cinematography. Hey everybody, my name is Marco Bagnoli. I'm a cinematographer from Germany, and today we look at a lighting technique that not a lot of people know about. And after watching this video, you should be able to shoot something like this. So we're looking at this nice woodworking commercial, and the lighting I want to talk about you is exactly this one, because you often have a scenery where someone is on a table in a very unnatural position, or generally a lot of people sitting on a table, and lighting this way so the man has a nice key light is difficult. But most of the time you would place a light around here, trying to get a little bit of key into him. But the answer is a lot more simple. You have to look at the world as a big reflector. The whole world, every subject, every material is a reflector, and also a table. When you have a strong top light, like here, the table will bounce this light back into this worker's face with a really soft and gentle way. Because the larger the light source, the softer the light will get. So why don't we just use wood, wall, sheets all the time as a reflector? The problem is color. When you would put a key light or any light you want and just blast it into a red sheet, the bounce you will get back is not this light. This light will convert into red light, and this red light will hit your face. So you have to look for it that you don't want this color irradiations, especially in a scene like this where normal natural colors are very important. And wood just gives a little bit of a warmer tone, and I think it works really nice most of the time. So next time you always have to look for, when you're especially at the table scene, how does the table sheet looks like? Is this a black sheet? Is this a red sheet? Is this a white sheet? The white sheet is very difficult to control because it's basically a reflector. So when you have a top light, it will bounce all over the place. Most of the time you put a little bit of a darker color on a table theme because you don't want the light bouncing under the chin of most people, because you lose this three-dimensional feeling. So always look, and also tell the set design, they have to know it most of the time, but that they check that you have always the right color and the right brightness of the sheet, because otherwise it can really become difficult to control the light in scenario. But this nice top light is not the only thing which makes the scene look good. As you can see, we have this nice windows in the background, which are always a great tool. Always look for practicals, windows, everything that just glows will make the image feel more alive and less dull. Also, it's not that bad that we have here a warmer tone, here a cooler tone. Different color temperatures really add up into an image and make it more dynamic. Also, this little blue color around here breaks a little bit this overall washed out look we would have otherwise. When every light and place in the scenery would just be warm, when we crop in, you can see the image become really monochromatic. And with this little bit of cooler light up there, it just lifts up the image a little bit and make it less monochromatic. Also, in a scenario like this, always haze. Haze is a great tool also to when you have really dark location with deep blacks where it's impossible to light the whole scenery. Just haze a little bit, it will lift the shadows, it takes a little bit less contrast out of the image. We get a little bit less contrast and always looks a little bit more creamy. This is also a cool shot from a commercial because we have this nice top angle view. What do you think? How many shots are out there from someone drilling a hole into the wall? So you have to be more creative to make it more unique. Today's time, a lot of people would now probably mount the camera on the drill, that we are moving with the drill. But something like a top shot always works, because it's always more difficult to do. But nowadays, with all this nice light cameras, FX3, Nikon ZR, etc., it's really easy. You can just put on a C-stand with a huge pipe on it and mount it there and do a top shot. But what you have to consider is, when you're doing a top shot, always light from the side. Don't light from the source, otherwise it would look flat. And also, when the light was different in the normal angle, you have to change the light for the top shot. Continuity is not important. This shot would be 1 or 2 seconds long. The audience doesn't have time or think about it, or wasn't the light there? It only is important for cinematographers. The audience doesn't know. Try to make the shots all look good and unique in their way. The client would be a lot more happy, and also everybody will think that you've done your best. This shot is same but different. Now we are in a much lower angle, and it's always a nice touch to reveal an image. Generally, you always look for frames and forms in your cinematography, because shooting through a window, through a door, always gives our scenery a nice framing. And this is basically the same, just that we have the dirt all around the lens, and then we just move it away. We get this nice reveal, also much more focus point where our eyes are looking at. And a shot like this is easy to do. You put your camera on a tripod, mount a magic arm on each side, and on the middle it's a piece of glass, and that's where you put the dirt, and then someone can easily swipe it away. This is another special shot from this commercial where she's holding the pan and going straight into the water. There are 2 different ways where you can achieve this shot, and one of them is underwater case. Just use a small camera underwater case. They're not that expensive anymore, and just put the camera under the water, and that's it. The other way is do a fish tank in the water, and the camera goes into the fish tank. It wouldn't be as dynamic because you can clearly see that you are not passing the water, but it will look really similar. What's also interesting here, I think, is when you're going for this angle, we are at the window, always light the background. As you can see, the shot's only interesting because we have another light that gives this nice light streak on the ceiling. Otherwise, this image would look pretty dead and also pretty lit. This background lighting always help to remove the look of, oh, we just put a light on her that she has exposure. No, it's a combination of her key light and the wall light. Everything looks very natural. So if you enjoyed this video, I really would appreciate a subscription from you. My name is Marco Bagnoli, and see you next time.